everybody, welcome back for another video. You see I have items on the table, which means that this is the September no spend, low spend. And you can see some items, so that means it was definitely not a no spend. It was definitely a spend for sure. And so yeah, so let me make a little room, move those things out of the way, and let's open up my bullet journal. I started keeping track of all of this stuff in my bullet journal. And let's go to, here we are, the last few days of September, and now it is actually October 1st, so I thought it would be a good day to film the no spend, low spend. So here we are at the end of the month, and I did a pretty good job. Most of my spending was towards the beginning of the month because, you know, payday. So, oh, there's one thing that I forgot to grab. Let me grab it. And it's a pretty big thing. So, the first day that I purchased anything was on the 1st of the month. And I purchased what I just pulled out. It is this, the Mungyo Watercolor Palette. I got it from Amazon, and a lot of you are probably thinking, but John, you have all of those St. Petersburg watercolors. Yes, I do have all my St. Petersburg watercolors, these right here. Here's my St. Petersburg palette, which I have been using a lot more, and I love. I love these watercolors, and I love the palette, and yeah. And I moved it back into its original plastic palette. But I was gifted the watercolor class by Shada Campbell. And this is the palette that Shada uses. And I've been on her Patreon for the last year or so. And in January, I paid for the full year. And like, this is the water palette she uses. And I do follow a lot of her tutorials. And you know, you see them here on YouTube in my notebooks, or if you see me doing some of the things on Twitch. And I wanted to have the watercolor palette that she uses, so that way I could mix precisely the same types of greens, the same types of yellow, oranges, browns, her pretty pinky purples. You know, I wanted to be able to mix the colors that she mixes using the paints that she uses. So that way, you know, I'm not having to second guess, like, well, I don't have a whatever type of orange, but I've got a golden deep in the St. Petersburg, which is kind of like this, but kind of, you know, I didn't want to deal with that. I know these are student grade paints, and that's fine. And another reason why I'm glad I have this is if, you know, we go to visit my parents soon for maybe Thanksgiving or the December holidays, this would be a watercolor palette I would feel comfortable traveling with. I don't want to travel with my St. Petersburg watercolors. This I would feel fine, and if something happened to it, I know I could replace these paints a lot easier. So this was my first purchase of the month, and it came to $28.45, which for 48 watercolors, that is half pans. That is a really good deal. So that was my first purchase, $28.45. Then the next purchase that I made on the 2nd, I actually made two purchases, one in the morning, one in the evening. The first purchase I made, I ordered a 2-pack of the Prismacolor Premier colorless blender, because I've been doing a lot of stuff with colored pencil, and I didn't have any colorless blenders, so I picked up a 2-pack. And then I also placed an order for this little cube. It's a 3-door thing that sits on my like IKEA cube behind me, and like things I have in it. Like this one, I've got like a little pair of scissors, my AirPods, a little Midori table eraser type vacuum, a pencil sharpener. I actually have my travel palette of the St. Petersburg watercolors. This one has been heavily used, and I've actually replaced the yellow and the red and I think the green over here I've replaced. Yeah, so there's that. The second drawer, I have another St. Petersburg watercolor palette. This is their newest watercolor palette. I've had it for a long time, and I got it last year and I've never used it. But it is basically the same 12, but in their new little tin. And it's like this beautiful kind of periwinkle-y sort of a color. So there's that. Aren't they pretty? Aren't they pretty? St. Petersburg White Nights Neva Paleta are they're my favorite watercolors. I've got pencil sharpeners in here, erasers, stuff like that. And then another pencil sharpener, some clips, corner rounder, that type of stuff that I wanted to, stuff that I use quite frequently, but I wanted to have a special place for it. So I ordered that, and that order came to $21.89. And later that day, I finally decided I needed a new set of watercolor brushes. So I just ordered this set. It's the same company that makes the Nevskaya Palitra, the St. Petersburg ones. I can't remember the name of it now. It's like a Korean brand. But they're like a sable brush. But I think they're like a blend of, well, I don't know. They're supposed to be round pointed sable brushes, and they're like size 2, what is that, a 4, 6, 8, 10, and I think this one's a 12. Yeah. So that way, you've got like a mop brush and smaller ones. And I'm just using these for practice, my practice brushes. So I got that. Then I ordered the Derwent drawing pencils. I placed an order for the 24 pack. But what they sent me was the 12 pack and this 6 pack of Color Soft. This is like the skin set. But I had placed an order for the 24 set, and I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, oh yeah, these are the drawing pencils I wanted. And then I was like, I thought there were more colors that I was looking for. And I checked my order, and I did place an order for the 24 pack. So I got a hold of Amazon, and I told them, I said, I like the pencils that I ordered, or that I received, but what I ordered was the 24 pack. I said, I've already, started using these because, I was just so excited that they came. And then I looked at my order and saw that, like, this wasn't my order. And so they ended up sending along the full 24 set. And they just said, just keep the ones that were sent to me, because they would have to like throw them away or what. I don't know, in this new COVID world. But I mean, they were used because I don't know. So what it reminded me is to check my order. So like, this is what I had ordered, but this was what was sent, and then they fulfilled the order correctly. So 12 of them that are in here are also in here, but there's also an extra set of 12. And these are just some of the, these are my, I love these colored pencils. They're great for urban sketching. They're great for fall themed things. Like I've swatched them in here. Like when I first got them, where did I swatch them? When the 12 came, I was like, okay. And then with the 6, I was like, okay. But I did eventually swatch all 24 of them. And then I did these pumpkins with them. And I'm thinking I might do a tutorial with the drawing pencils for some pumpkins and stuff since this is October. But the pencils came to $24.06. So my total for the month of September was $92.84, which is a heck of a lot more than I spent in August. Do I have August in here? August was $65. So it definitely is more. But I do have to say, everything that I've purchased, I'm using. Like, they're becoming like, you know, fond favorites of mine. Like I've used the Mungyo palette in the class. I've used the Mungyo palette on Twitch in some streams. I've used it on my own. The pencils, these are like some of my go-to pencils now. I've been using the brushes. I've been using the blenders. I've been using everything. So, you know, it's still a large number, or large-ish. But when I think of what it is, you know, I'm okay with that. And I know that I don't have that much, I don't need anything. I have my bullet journal set up for next year. I have my inserts made for my traveler's notebooks that I've designed. So there'll be a video coming on that for sure. But yeah, so that was my number. And I was very, you know, mindful of what I was purchasing when I purchased it. I mean, I haven't bought any new brushes in like 3 years. The last ones I bought were in like 2018, 2017. They were two Escoda and a silver Blackwing travel brush. And, you know, they're starting to show their wear. Like they don't maintain a nice point anymore for the round tip. And, you know, so I was starting to need, you know, some new brushes. And so these are just, you know, these are ones that will, you know, give me something new to try, something new to play with. And the pencils, of course, those are going to last a long time because they're really thick pencils. Even these ones, they've got like a 5mm core. I mean, they're quite nice. And they even came with a special little pencil sharpener for it too. So that is my no spend, low spend for the month of September. How did you do? I liked keeping a little post-it with, to keep track of what days I did spend and what days I didn't. And it got me to use some of my little stickers that I normally don't use. And I have one set for the month. Here we are. No, October, that's the month. We've got our bills all set. Well, we've got them, most of them listed. I've got to make sure that we paid the rent. But I've got my little post-it note here so I can track when I spend, when I don't spend, and room to make a list. So I'm looking forward to seeing what October holds. I've got a chamber music concert tonight, a chamber music concert tomorrow. I had rehearsal this morning, so I'm filming this in between in a little downtime. So let me know. I'd love to hear, how did you do? I am definitely hoping to spend nowhere near $95 next month. I'm hoping to spend $0 because there's nothing that I need. I don't need anything. I need to remind myself that I don't need anything. I have plenty of supplies. I have plenty of paper. One thing that I do notice that I'm not buying planners and traveler's notebooks. I'm actually releasing that stuff. And that feels actually quite nice. It felt there for a while, like it was an obsession, like with Pokemon, you gotta catch them all, and I had caught a lot, and I'm releasing them back to the wild. So there we are. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. I will leave a link in the description box to like an Amazon store so you can see this stuff, and it's Amazon, so the prices can greatly fluctuate. That was why I really had to think hard about the brushes. Like one day I went to look at them and they were like $25, and then the next day they were like $16. I was like, oh, getting them because I'd been thinking about them. So I will leave a link so you can see just some of my favorites that I have. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. Let us know how you're doing, and I will see you in the next video. And I know I will at least see you next month for the no spend, low spend. Okay? Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.